welcome into the Dana Duckworth Show presented by Alabama One. I'm Maggie Hetzel alongside head coach Dana Duckworth. And coach, wow, a big road win against LSU. 196-775 to LSU's 196-425. Ranked 7th now, and you dropped LSU from 6 to 9 after that loss. How big of a momentum push was that win for your ladies?
It was an awesome evening. I mean, that W had a lot more to do with a team effort. I mean, our ladies continued to fight. We started really strong on bars, and they were just confident, and I thought we did a great job at our landings, and then went over to vault and did a good job on vault. Still room for a lot of improvement there, but then I thought floor went really well, and then really closed it out on balance beam, where people had to really fight for every single 10th.
And we start on bars. You know, last week you had a 49-4 on bars, which was a season best for you, but now a 49-3. You're really staying consistent on the bars. What did you see from your ladies on that event?
Well, we changed the lineup up a little bit, again, giving more people opportunity, but I think that what you're seeing in competition is how they are training. I mean, the detail to handstands and stuck landings and the repetitions and the numbers that we're putting in is really translating into great bars on the arena floor.
Well, Lexi Graber won. She had a fantastic meet, a 9.875 for her, and a season best in the all-around with a 39.475.
Lexi really fights for this spot on beam, bars, excuse me. You see here on her ginger, it's well above the bar, a little leg separation. This is a new bar routine for her this year. She has her combination bonus right there, which is a toe on, toe off to a bail handstand. She sets up for her dismount. She does a tucked full in off the bars. What I was proud of Lexi is she really hit those handstands and control that landing. So the biggest deduction for her was really the legs on the full in right there, that little leg right there, and then the separation in the ginger. But other than that, it was really great.
And then your freshman Makari Doggett, a 9.875 for Makari.
Makari did a beautiful job. I love the way she attacks her handstands. She has a really challenging combination right here. A Tkachev, immediately pack salto. That's 2 D-level skills back to back. She has a half pirouette, lands up on top of the bar. Now she sets up for her dismount. This is the place, her handstand was a hair short, and then this dismount was stuck, well, just a little bit of a hop. So her deductions, were just minimal. The thing about Makari is that when she nails this thing, she has the potential to get a 10.0.
Well, and coach, you talk about the D-level skills and the handstand, and this is what we talk about each week, the tip of the week. So if you have any questions on any of that, make sure you go back and watch some of her tips of the week. They're fantastic. Now, coach, what would have been your, tip or takeaway from vault, which this week's tip of the week is vault scoring. So a 49.025 for you.
We got to stick landings. Honestly, it's not that complicated. We need to block, we need to stick, and we need to sell it. And I think that, over season, that was our 4th meet. I think you're going to see improvement every single week. We're really putting the detail in the practice. We still have some more vaulters to add to the lineup. And so we really want to get those 10.0 start value vaults. But if we don't have them, the 9.95 start value vaults have to be done with almost perfection. And that's what we're working towards.
Still a couple of good scores for you guys. Shay Mahoney, we're going to start off with her with a 9.85.
Shay did one of the best vaults I have seen her do in competition. She gets great height, great amplitude. Look at this. I mean, I thought her body line was beautiful, and she really, just that small little hop and pike down. That was a well-deserved 9.85. Right there, she gets distance, you see those hips stay flat, and she controls the landing. Nice job by Shay. So remember, that vault starts from a 9.9 start value.
And Ella Burgess with a 9.825.
Now look at the difference in this vault. She actually is more on the front of the table, so her distance perceives it's not as far, but actually when you look at where her hands are on the table versus where she lands, that small leg separation right there with the landing and little hop are the deductions.
And Lexi Graber, a 9.825 for Lexi.
Oh, Lexi just has so much power that we've got to find a way to contain this thing. So you see that big step on there, but when you watch that vault, the distance, the height, the body position, look at that. Just huge. She just basically had her head out a little bit, didn't open her arms fast enough. And so what we're working with Lexi on is truly spotting that landing. It's something that she's worked on, and it's just kind of one of those things when she gets in competition, she gets excited and gets ahead of herself. And so we have to really work through how to stay composed.
And I know you talk a lot about being in the Bama bubble. So do your ladies know the scores heading into each apparatus, or do you try to stay away from that?
Some of our athletes thrive by knowing the scores. Many of our athletes just don't want to know. I care to really focus on the performance because that's the controllable. What we do in performance, we can control. How the judges perceive it and how they score it, that's up to them. So we have to really look at how is the performance and how do we get better every week.
Well, coming up next, we are going to talk floor and beam, 2 of the best events of the night, and Lexi Graber sealing the deal when we come up. Coming up next.
The Dana Duckworth Show is brought to you by Alabama One.
Welcome back into the Dana Duckworth Show. Coach, now we're going to go straight into floor because it was one of the most exciting events of the night. You tied your season high with a 49.325 and some absolutely huge routines from Makari Doggett, your freshman. What did you see on floor?
I saw an incredible performance. They were lighting up the floor. Now, what people don't know is our first two floor teams really didn't have a great score. We had like a 9.75, I think, in both scores, and one of our athletes went out of bounds. And so I was sitting there looking at the team, thinking to myself, okay, what are you going to do with this? You just had a thorn because two routines didn't go the way we wanted them to, and what are you going to do with that? And then we just started to build momentum, and the gymnasts just got more comfortable with their routine, and I thought it went really well at the end.
Well, Maddie does. She's not in the highlight, but she's been a blast to watch on floor this year. Her tumbling's incredible. She had a 9.875, but Makari Doggett, a career best 9.95. Man, it's hard to remember she's a freshman.
Well, last week Makari was a little short on her last pass, so she was so excited about this. Look at this beautiful pike full in. I mean, it's probably done better than anyone in the country. There's a little leg separation, but the judges give forgiveness there. That leap pass is a new leap pass. That was her only deduction. You saw that she kind of bobbled out of that. But other than that, this last pass, her combination front through to double back, watch the landing. She lands straight up and down, just smiling, having fun. So it was really awesome for her to do that in, Pauley Pavilion, or where were we? PMAC. And it was great. So right here, look at this first pass. Pike full in, chest is tall, brings that thing right around. If she lunges, it will definitely hide any kind of deduction.
And man, Lexi continuing her incredible night, a 9.9 for Lexi.
I love the way Lexi flies on that tucked full in. That is an E-level skill. She gets 2/10 bonus for that. Her leap pass is a little different than everybody else's. She gets a D-level skill right there, which is a wolf full and a half, but the leap pass actually has the switch side in it. Now this is what was really nice. She sets up for her her last pass, a front through to a double pike. She gets 3/10 bonus in that. She catches herself a little bit, which is really the only deduction in that entire routine. And I love the way she's selling this and just showing her passion.
Well, with the 49.325 on floor, you kind of solidified yourself heading into beam, and
just a
love watching
job.
her perform. Okay, so what's the glasses?
Okay, the girls came up with this whole thing. It was dollar bill. So one of our assistant coaches is Bill, and he was like, when they did a really good vault, they'd be like, dollar bill. And the next thing I know, when a good performance, it was like money. So hey, that performance was like money. So then the girls, I don't know, they ordered on Amazon or something. They got those big glasses. And so it became just, if you did a great routine, the girls got the glasses, and it was just something that creates fun for the ladies. And that's the thing. This team, when they're having fun, is when they do their best.
Well, I have a feeling that Lexi Graber and Luisa Blanco were probably wearing those glasses after their beam routines. We're going to head straight into Luisa's balance beam champion, and she had a 9.9.
Well, what you don't know is that right before this freshman, who's never been on this kind of arena with a sold-out crowd and a lot of LSU fans, they didn't like the floor score before her. They started booing. So she gets up there, look at the composure. She has a front aerial, beautiful, there's no deductions here. She has her series, beautiful, legs are perfectly straight. She uses the arm, swings down, covers the small little bobble right there. And at this point, you gotta know the fans are booing. It was hilarious. So right here, her leap pass, a switch leap, switch half, a beautiful executed leap pass. You see her toe point is gorgeous. This was the highlight though. She has struggled with this stuck dismount, double full, plie, boom, and she nails the landing. So it was such a huge high because right before her, Makari Doggett had actually missed her foot and had a 9.45. So she had to not only follow a boo from the crowd, she's also following a mistake.
And Lexi Graber, you knew what she needed to do on beam, and she did it, a 9.875.
Well, Lexi thrives under pressure. She has a beautiful series here, a back handspring layout, 2 feet, right into a little beat jump. Her toe point's exquisite, and she really stayed in her focus and bubble when she was on that beam. You see her for her leap pass, a switch leap, straddle 3/4. That's a very challenging leap pass. She gets 3/10 bonus for that. Right here, she does a combination, a cat leap to a front toss. And again, you see her fighting for every 10th. She sets up for this dismount. All we were screaming for was a stick, and she nails it. It was great.
So Lexi knew going on to that beam routine that was going to seal the deal for the meet. So what's the takeaway from Lexi?
I don't really know if she knew that that's what we needed to be able to win the meet.
Absolutely.
I know that the ladies knew we had to do a great job on balance beam, and we definitely were in the running. So when the meet kind of evolved. The very first event, we did a great job, and our competitor had a challenge. So the door was open. Our ladies grabbed that opportunity, and we didn't do everything as perfect as we would like to, but it just gives them that much motivation to go into this week and focus on the details.
Well, coming up next is Dana Duckworth's tip of the week. This week, we're talking vault scoring and vault deductions. Stay with us.
The Dana Duckworth Show is brought to you by Alabama One.
Welcome back into the Dana Duckworth Show presented by Alabama One. This segment is the Dana Duckworth's tip of the week, and this week is all about vault deductions. And Coach, you look a lot for direction, distance, and amplitude, and that's why we see a lot of the rulers when you're, vaulting, and the distance they get off of the vault and the height that they get off the vault. So what goes into those deductions?
Well, when the judge is standing on the sideline, we'll show the graphic that talks about this. So right here, you see amplitude. How high are you getting off the table? Where is the body position? Where is the line? How far are you getting from the distance of the horse? And what is the direction? Are you landing right behind the horse, or are you off? And then of course the other deductions include leg separation and bent knees. So think about how fast a vault goes, and then the judge not only has to judge what is the vault that I just see, where are the deductions coming from. So it's a very difficult event to be able to judge, but the ladies, that's what they're looking for. Height, amplitude, distance, and direction.
Well, I know you said this week you wanted to see a lot more stuck landings and some height and some distance on a couple different vaults. So we're going to look at two of those, Kylie Dixon and Ella Burgess.
Wonderful. And we did not get the stuck landings we wanted. Shay Mahoney did the best one. So as you watch this, I want to point out a few things as a spectator that you're looking for. So right here, Kylie is 5'8". So you see her run down the vault runway. She does a round off onto the board, and then you see a nice distance, but you see the hop and you see the pike down. So when we show this in slow motion, right here, she has a decent height off of the table, but her shoulder angle was bad coming off, which then forced her to basically, as we keep going, finish the rotation, pike down. When she piked down, it forced her to then take a hop. The next thing. So you've got deduction. So height is not an issue for her, but distance and controlled landing was. Now Ella has a different kind of a vault. Look at where her hands are on the table, and look how far she gets away from the distance there. You see that her body is in a great alignment coming off the table. So the position is nice in the air, but she also has a small little pike down. The difference is her arms are out early, and she controls the landing a little better with just a very small little hop. So basically what you want to see is you want to see as much amplitude off the table. You want the line to stay very tight. You want the hips to stay completely flat, and as you land into the ground, you want to see an absorption and a bend. So what you saw there were deductions and why they went 9.825. So it's little half a tenth here and there, but the controlled landing is key. A small hop is going to be a half a tenth. A big step is going to be 1/10. A big jump is going to be 2/10. And that's how it goes.
Coach, I love it. You're demonstrating and everything.
I know,
You're
it's hard to explain it.
I love it. I love it. Coming up next, we are talking about a junior who sealed the meet for Alabama against LSU, Lexi Graber, and how she's grown as a gymnast on this team. Coming up next.
The Dana Duckworth Show is brought to you by Alabama One.
It's definitely a different feeling coming from, freshman and sophomore year and being kind of that new face and kind of figuring everything out to being an upperclassman now. And as a recruit and coming in on visits and stuff, they, preach about this whole family aspect and legacy aspect, and it's kind of scary coming in, I have to carry on this legacy and, be a part of this huge family. But being here for 2 years, it actually comes true. And we sit in the gym every day and we're just laugh like sisters and do everything as sisters, hang outside of the gym and everything. And every day the coaches push us to, fulfill that legacy that is Alabama gymnastics.
Beautiful. One leg, beautiful, smooth, gainer full dismount.
Everybody sort of struggles with confidence, whether they portray it or they don't. I think it's always a battle within yourself. And so I like to take it day by day and take every day as a challenge and try to be better than I was yesterday. And so every day coming into the gym, I try to pick at least, one or two things that I'm like, this is gonna be better today. And even if some things don't go right and, maybe something was worse than it was yesterday, I can, leave fulfilled that I improved on those 2 or 3 things. And I like to make practice kind of a competition within myself. And so everything that I do, I try to make it better than the last time, or, be at my best every time. But I also like to have fun with it, and I try not to get too hard on myself. I think Dana's helped me so much of, trying not to get too frustrated and too down on myself, because in the end it doesn't help. So we just try to thank the bad turns and get better. I like to take life seriously when we can, but at the same time, not everything is as serious as it seems. And I think that if you just have a happy mindset and can, joke around a little while, getting your work done, then everybody's happy. If you catch me outside of the gym, I will probably be at the beach or with my friends shopping, laughing, doing something fun. I know this is super cheesy, but take in every moment. I mean, I'm a junior and it feels like I was a freshman yesterday. And so, yeah, just take in every moment. And if your friends ask you to do something or your coach asks you to do something, just know that you get to do it and that you may not get to do it in the future. So take advantage of it.
Coach, we talk every week about Lexi being, you call her a gamer. She thrives under pressure, and I think she showed that at the LSU meet, especially after that early, fall against Auburn in the beginning of the season. It just shows her tenacity as a gymnast.
Well, just watching her feature, there's so much wisdom. I mean, she is a junior who came in here literally as a Mighty Mouse, and we named her Firecracker because that's the way she is, and then she just became this gamer. But Lexi is extremely hard on herself, and I love that she really kind of shared that in her feature. She was vulnerable and she shared that it's tough. But I love hearing her talk about how she goes into practice every day in her own self-competition. How do I make myself better? Because if she does that, then the team gets better. And she is one of the toughest athletes you will ever meet. She has been dealing with a little bit of aches and pains in the lower body this season, but has not backed down. And she is a fighter. So I can't say enough about the wisdom she shared and that she exposed that she does get nervous and it's all part of it, and that she is really listening to some of the things that we're saying. She says, I get to, I don't have to. We talk about that all the time. Enjoy the moment because it may not be there tomorrow. She's those little pearls are going to go with her the rest of her life. So I'm very happy.
Well, coming up next, we are talking the Power of Pink meet, one of Coach's favorite meets of the year and one of the ladies' favorite meets of the year. It's a fun one. Stay with us.
The Dana Duckworth Show is brought to you by Alabama One.
That's Coleman Coliseum lit up in pink. It is inside. It truly is one of the most beautiful times in Coleman, seeing everything lit up in pink, everybody wearing pink. And I'm excited to see the leotards this year. That's one of my favorite things for each Power of Pink meet. I love it. And obviously, this one's close to everybody's heart. Everyone has a story that has affected them with breast cancer. So this is a really special meet for you and the ladies.
There's no doubt. The wonderful thing about the purpose of the Power of Pink is that it's about awareness to early breast cancer awareness and being able to know how to detect things. And it doesn't just affect women, it affects men, it affects young and old. So it doesn't matter who you are, you need to be aware of it. And I love that this meet is an opportunity to do gymnastics for a platform so much bigger than just the flips and the sticks. It's about the women that are battling cancer. It's about the women that have fought it and beat it, and to remember those that have not. And so the reality is it's a beautiful event, and there's going to be some really emotional moments during the competition that will make it worth being there. So I know that from a competitive perspective, I'm excited that we get an exhibition on every event, which allows you to see some athletes that may have not been out there yet because we're trying to get them some experience. I also think that we just came off a huge win, so there's a lot of confidence going on. But the other thing is that this team is only getting better. We only have 4 more home meets. So the Power of Pink on February 7th at 7:30, be in those seats by 7:15 when the lights go down. You won't want to miss this because it's going to be special, it's going to be heartfelt, and I hope that our ladies really deliver a beautiful performance so we can continue the legacy.
And the ladies will take on Missouri at 7:15. Be in those seats on Friday, February 7th. Make sure to come out,
your pink.
wear your pink, and
Yes.
support them. We're going to leave you with a hype video to get you excited for that meet. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Dana Duckworth Show. Have a great week, everybody.
It's a great crowd here, and they know it's going to be loud.
That was a flawless beam routine by junior Lexi. Wow.
Makari Doggett.
Lights out by Makari Doggett.
When Alabama comes to town, so does the crowd. Come in to the belly of the beast, and they get the win.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.